Welcome, gentlemen, to Thrive with Tens, the most essential program ever in the pickup community because it is designed around the deepest need that will create the greatest difference. That's a big claim, and we are going to by far outperform it. Watch and see. Be ready to take lots of notes. And we're going to address Aphrodite's 10 treatments for tens. Treatment because we suffer of an illness. That illness is simple. We can be in denial, or we can simply reach deeper levels of personal honesty. For each one of us, it's at a different level. But most likely, the women in your lifetime that you will most desire, think about it, honestly. Think back about some of the women you have most desired. The women you will most desire, you really want them. You are not sure that you can have them, or that they would want you, or that you are enough for them. So that gap at the level of the unconscious, in general, in life, it doesn't matter what we want. Think about the amount of money you would most want right now. You desire it. You want it. But at the same time, do you really genuinely feel totally deserving of it and capable of having it in the here and the now? So wherever in life we find that gap, it's devious to the self because we're teasing ourselves, we're tempting ourselves. Now, what options are there? Some have given up. Some have given up. The first crush you had on a true beauty, a celebrity, maybe a famous actress and so on, you know you would want her, but do you really foresee that as being possible in your future? Do you really think that the first few crushes that you had, before you had any experience with women, whatever would most grab your attention, did you really, you desired them, but many men at some point they give up. They go, I won't have that unless maybe I pay for it, or something, or I jerk off to it watching porn. Some, they put in a good fight, okay? But the problem, for as long as we have that gap, it creates a deviation from the core, where we try to compensate. And at best, we may end up with a beauty, a true beauty, but what follows then is likely to so bother us that we are rarely going to want to duplicate. My first wife was a true beauty. Okay? I remember through time in bed with her, kind of doubting myself. Not a major doubt, but it wasn't the feeling of like, yeah, here I am. I always was a little concerned because, you know, I would hear people make comments, oh my God, she's so beautiful. And then I was like, but what about me? So it's very, very delicate and quite devious. And for some, you may have a reference that you can get beauty. But there's always something that's gonna top it, where suddenly you're back at ground zero. It's quite funny. And through our journey, be prepared that it might be that they are sweeter than what you've used to before. It might be that it's a certain type and it never dawned on you prior that you would feel so attracted to a specific type that you had not met before. My current girlfriend, there's something about the fact that she looks super young. She's young, but on top of that, she looks younger. And the quality of her hair that I didn't know prior that it would have such an effect on me. and then of a sweetness and devotion like I had not met despite the hundreds prior. So it might be, or she tops it sexually, or suddenly she's very edgy, or she has an attitude that it's movie-like. My fifth wife, I don't know if some of you guys met her, but if you saw her with hair down to her butt, boobs so big that she ended up having a breast reduction, and sitting on a motorcycle with Gucci glasses that were not imitation and fashion like you rarely had seen it. In that moment, I felt like this is a fucking movie. And I was moved by it, not knowing what I would have to handle afterwards when I found out what a mean-ass bitch attitude she had overall. So, my point so far is clear, okay? Whether you've had beauty before, or you're kind of always like hoping, you know, I can get a 7 or an 8, but the 10, the but, okay? Drives me fucking crazy. That's why I'm giving this gift to you guys. Or it seems so out of reach that you have nearly given up, or you go bipolar where you give up for a period of time and suddenly a burst of hope, maybe even this program makes you feel like, oh, maybe after all I can get beauty, okay? No matter where you're at, the moment there is that gap, I want but I'm not sure. First, it robs us of existing resources. See, any guy that thinks that the girl is a little more special, even a good-looking man, suddenly they talk a little different. They insist on a mannerism that would make anybody who witnesses it go like, dude, you're trying too hard. They are not themselves. If suddenly they were with their family talking and suddenly you see them with the chick, you could tell something is different. Or acts of desperation where suddenly you render services, favors, spend money that you normally wouldn't have, and it's guaranteed. No matter how skilled you are, it's going to happen. So prepare, 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 prepare. All right? So as we begin, we're about to go